Hello, ma'am. In the qualifier, there were exam tech after. It was asking for the meaning of tech after. So, what we could do to get this kind of words meaning is how we can explore more about them.
Sure. These are questions in phrasal verbs. So you can look at a dictionary, of course, but I think a better option would be for you to keep reading, right? And also, more than reading, for phrasal verbs, you'll have to listen to more of English conversations. Listening helps you because phrasal verbs is something that you use more in informal and conversational English rather than in formal English.
Okay, ma'am.
So, listen to more. Videos or podcasts or anything that you're, whatever you are comfortable with.
Mhm.
Listening more shall definitely improve your knowledge of phrasal verbs. And whatever the lecture suggests you about the meanings, because mostly they have idiomatic meanings, as in uh, the meanings of phrasal verbs are generally not the meanings that the words literally carry, right? They have
Yes.
idiomatic meanings. So, uh, check for that. So, next time you spot one while you're listening, please make a note of it and check for what meaning it does. Mostly, it is possible to guess it from the context also, which is why the suggestion to listen more, right?
Okay.
So, in terms of improvement, you should be listening to more of English content, right?
Okay. Means,
Yeah.
the thing is that it becomes totally blank if you come across a standalone one. Means you have to use it, try
Okay.
to use it in different sentence, and then try to guess for it. If we are not
Okay.
encountered that particular phrasal words
Oh,
earlier.
yes, yes. That's right. But if you're practicing more with respect to listening, then even if it is a standalone question, it shouldn't be difficult for you to answer that.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. So for improvement, definitely please do a few of these things that we're suggesting on a regular basis. Don't just do it for once and twice and leave it. Uh, keep practicing. Build a relationship with it on a regular basis, and then you'll be able to pick it up quickly.
Sure, ma'am. Yeah, I will try
Okay.
to do it. Yeah.
Sure.
Thank you. One more question, ma'am, regarding the unseen passage. Means what strategy we could follow to get the answer uh, quickly. Means what is the suggested way, or what is the particular series of steps we have to follow so as to get answer quickly.
Sorry,
This is
couldn't hear you properly. Could you please repeat yourself again?
Yes, ma'am. For the unseen passage,
Yeah.
what strategy or a series of steps we have to follow to get the answer quickly and accurately?
To get the answer quickly.
Yeah,
Um,
quickly means kind of.
you see, for reading comprehensions, the first thing that you should be doing is going through the questions first, right?
Okay, ma'am.
Even before reading the passage, it's a good idea to look at the questions first and then get back to the reading part so that you know where to locate which. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
So that would help you. Sometimes you might have to read it, say, once or twice, depending on what question is being asked. But
Yes.
if it is for specific detail, you can look at that paragraph and just, read through that once or twice rather than reading the whole of the passage. This is called scanning, right? Because you're looking for specific details. So
Okay,
scan
ma'am.
through that information only in the paragraph you have come across that instead of reading the whole of the passage again, right?
Okay.
But if it's a general question, say it is asking about an overview or a summary point or something, then a general skimming would help. Like just overall quick reading of the passage will help you understand that.
Right.
Specific details, just go to the specific paragraph which talks about it to get a response to it, right?
Okay.
But
In,
before all this, make sure that you have read the questions at least once before even
okay.
reading the paragraph or the passage.
Yeah, it sounds the right strategy because in the qualifier I tried to read the passage and then I tried to read the questions and then try to answer. Then again I have to um, move back and forth between the paragraphs and the questions. So it becomes difficult for me to uh, answer for a single question. I was taking around 5 to 10 minutes. That's why I thought it is better to ask. Thank you.
Okay, no problem.
Anyone, any other questions?
Yes, ma'am. Hello.
Hi, Satya.
Am I audible?
Yes, yes, you're audible.
Ma'am, I'm finding difficulties about. I mean, whenever I'm coming across the topic that that is out of my, I mean, knowledge domain. So, what should I? I mean, how deep should I research? What I'm like is there is a topic we have asked to write about that that company taxation, something like that. So what should I do at that moment? I mean,
Uh,
Your question is not clear, Satyabrat.
uh, sir, I'm finding difficulty whenever I'm coming across some topic that is out of my knowledge domain.
Okay.
So what should I do? I mean, how deep should I research about that topic so that I can
Let me
write? I mean, my writing is
let me ask you
noticeable.
let me ask you a couple of related questions. Is this difficulty only in writing or also in speaking?
Yes, sir. Speaking is also I have difficulty about
Okay.
speaking.
About unrelated topic that you have been given right at that moment, and some of these topics are not part of your regular domain.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so that's a very generic problem that many of us have. What happens in this one is we sound repetitive about this, but let me ask you another question. How much time do you spend reading anything?
Apart from my regular, I
Yes,
mean, the it is very less. The time is very less I spend on reading.
that is why I am asking you this question. If you find some time to read things about general topics that are not related to your research domain or work domain or any way related to your profession, then what happens is it may not sound it may not look visible to you right at that moment when we are suggesting you this thing, but it has dramatic impact on how it prepares you to speak on topics that are not from your domain. So, one of the things that you will need to do is to read things regularly. Okay.
Oh, okay, sir.
It looks little, and I'm not only talking to you, I'm talking to all other 18 people or 17 people present here. Sometimes it looks unnecessary to us. Sometimes it feels like whatever time I have, I should spend with other subjects if I where I am struggling, and I'll take care of English later. That's not how it works. And uh, even when you know a lot about your subject, or you feel you know about things that you are being asked, and you are unable to answer the questions, at that point you feel, I wish I could have said something else as well.
Right,
And
sir.
at that point it matters. What we are talking about right now matters. So my suggestion is to change an approach, change change approach of looking at things, change your perspective, and please read something regularly as if they are required next day. You will need it for next day. And then over a period of time, and I'm not promising you any miracle on that, it will take some time, like at least a month. And then you will see incremental change in this approach. May sound very broad and general to you, but this is how it works, how it helps.
Yes, sir.
And I'm
Thank
glad you asked this question because this is not related to a specific topic, to a specific topic of language or sentence or words or sounds. It's a general communication issue. And it should be one of the top priority goal for any one of us. But this is the only way to help it. Also, what matters is if you can find a little more time, then listen to others carefully. Not just set half an hour time for yourself like we do for exercises, walking. Set half an hour time for yourself and listen to some audio in English carefully. Not when what I mean by carefully is not when you are doing something else, you run a video or an audio and you are doing something else, not like that. Spend if you can spend only 20 minutes, spend 20 minutes, but give your full attention to that, and you don't have to take any notes on that. If you continue doing this thing, these are called cognitive exercises, and they have impact on things that you are asking without you knowing about these things.
Right, sir.
All right.
Thank you, sir.
Sure. Go ahead, guys. Anybody else has any question or any specific topic that you want us to elaborate on? Anything that you any comments that you it's been a couple of weeks now. I think we have met 3-4 weeks. Are we done? Are we past 4 weeks or not yet?
Yes, sir. Almost 6 weeks, sir.
Almost 6 weeks. So
Yes, sir.
almost half of the course, right? So any comments, anything that you would like to share with us?
Yes, sir. I wanted to make a comment regarding
Go
you.
ahead.
Yeah, I have gone through your lectures and videos that are really very good. It gave me a different prospect because from the very early childhood we used to see only 26 letters, and
Right.
now we are seeing it in a different prospect. So it would be better if we can have a small uh, what we have to say, a live session from you regarding that one. I could understand it's a quite a big longer one because we are having more vowels and consonants. So if you may summarize, then it would be a great time, great use of time with you.
Sure. There is no problem. We can do that anytime. We can do it in one of these sessions, anytime. Is there anything specific that you would want to know about sounds?
Vowels, diphthongs.
Okay.
Yes. Just some revision for that thing. Means it would be great to hear you in a live form.
Okay. Sure.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that.
Yeah.
Any other question, guys?
Thank you.
Anything else? Okay. So see, very quickly, it's you who is looking at it as differently, and in the sense that we all learn the language the same way. Even when you looked at 26 letters, those 26 letters are symbols for writing. Those
Right.
are not the symbols of sounds that we speak. When you spoke father, think about this word and sounds involved in that. What is fa? What is the sound after that? The next sound after that is ah. This is not in the this is not in the this is not listed in the 26 letters. Same way, you have the next sound is the. So we have a letter D, but sounds are not listed in English writing system. So the important part about that is, you see, all of you speak English. All of you know importance of English. Our goal is to bring your attention to some of these things repeatedly so that we get out of the mode of memorizing things. We get out of the mode of looking at it as a task. So when what we have done in that exercise is we have given you some descriptions of those sounds. Like you asked the question about vowels. When you look at vowels, we have 20 specific vowel sounds for English, and 6 or 8, I don't remember the exact number, they are diphthongs. So what the difference between monophthong and diphthong is, monophthongs are like e, or oo. To learn about these things, specifically what you need to do is to just pay attention to them, and that's all is enough. Because you see, we have two types of oo. One is shorter one and the other one is longer one. Sometimes words are spelled the same way. Take for example, a word like book. It is written as OOBOOK, but when you speak the word, it sounds as short oo, book. But when you have another word like shoot, that word has long oo. So when we hear a word, we need to pay attention to sounds, and then we also need to pay attention to diphthongs. Diphthongs are two vowel sounds combined together. It's not really two. After they get combined in one, they become one sound. Meaning, we start with one, end with the other. And they count as one vowel sound. So when you pay closer attention to this, I can keep talking about this, but what it requires is your attention. Not right now, or not only right now, your attention in your isolation. And when you pay attention to these things, like I responded to the earlier question, these are cognitive exercises. They improve your listening, and paying attention to these things will improve your speaking ability dramatically, and they will also fix your pronunciation, that is how you speak. And after all, what matters is how we speak, and that is what helps, or that is what makes anybody else evaluate how impactful. It's not about good or bad, but how impactful we sound when we speak. And none of these things come in few weeks. For that, you need to pay attention to these things, these topics one after the other. And our main goal is centered around this approach. Make sense, Asif?
Yes, sir.
I,
Very rightly summarized.
I can say more, but that is just a repetition of what we
Yes,
have
sir.
done.
But one more thing happens. If we used to pay attention to someone, then we used to sound more like them. Like we used to be, or sound like some American, or someone like British. That
Yes.
thing also occurs. If we used to biased by listening to some particular source, then we try to imitate them. That thing happens. Means
You are right. You are absolutely right that when you listen to, see, what is the meaning of what you have just said? When you listen to somebody more,
yes,
you you find yourself becoming like that.
right. Yeah,
The
true, sir.
if you explain that further, it means their sounds in your cognition is doing some impact, therefore your production is changing without you working on it much.
Right. Yeah.
And the answer is very simple, that we need to, not just one person, we just need to listen to others more. And I will add a footnote here. Our goal should not be sounding like somebody else,
Okay, sir.
but improvement is definitely desirable.
Right. Yeah.
Is it? We as whoever we are, if we need to know that if we grew up with a different language, that is a language different from English as our first language, as our mother tongue, as our native language, that language will always have impact on whatever comes as second language, in this case English for us.
Right.
So all our English is going to have impact of whatever we speak as our first language. And there is nothing to be shy about it, and there is nothing to be apologetic about it. So that everybody knows that across the world. And it's not just us, it's anybody else. Chinese, Vietnamese, French, German, when they all speak English, they have impact of their languages on English.
Right.
What we can do additionally is to listen to people and just leave it there. You don't have to do much. If you are listening to others, read, leave it there. And let this show the impact on you by itself. And this is what I try to emphasize, that you will be surprised what it does when you check yourself after a month or two. You would see that your language has changed without you knowing about any one of the things that have changed.
Sure, sir. I will follow this thing. Yeah.
Sure. This is for everybody who wants to make any change. If you feel you need to do something that will make you more impactful, this is the process. And we don't need to copy anybody. We don't need to do anything for anybody, just to improve ourselves. All right.
Thanks, sir. Thanks again.
Very, very nice. Yes. Yeah, I see a question here, how to enhance our informal communication with a special emphasis on how to be more approachable. Yes, see, communication involves a lot of things. Communication is not just language, not just how we speak. Communication is also a lot of other things. I don't know much about everything else that is involved in communication. You can pay attention to these smaller details. It happens to all of us that we meet with somebody, and after 5 minutes we feel like we can talk to this person more. Or conversely, it also happens that in 10 minutes you feel you are done with this person. I don't need to interact with this person anymore. Now, it's not important in this case. It's not important that person is not important. What we need to learn is what happened, what made it either way. And if you pay attention to those things and then allow yourself to change such things, so that after meeting with you, somebody doesn't feel like I am done with this person, I don't want to talk any further. That is what helps you in communication strategies overall. Improving your language is hardly 25 to 50% of your total communicative ability. It involves a lot of things. It involves how, like you were saying, how to be more approachable. It's not an easy thing. It's not something that we can change overnight and become more approachable or make someone else more approachable. It takes a long time to work on these things. Whether we find it important or not, that's our individual choice. If you think it is important, you will need to find a way to work on these things. And they are not they are not rocket science. They are pretty simple things. and that will help you improve these things. Anything else, guys? See lot many people here now. Just feel free, unmute yourself, and you can speak. We are not controlling who will speak first now. And any question that comes to your mind, you can ask us. We try to take your questions first. Yeah, we do want to take your questions first before we say anything. Also, it will help us if if you find anything, any on one of our lessons or any one of the videos which are not explained properly, where you found anything difficult, just feel free. Don't be either shy or conscious about it. It is possible, and we can explain such things to you again and again. There is absolutely no issue with that. Go ahead, Namita.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
I would like to ask you about like how do I improve the vocabulary of, like, say, English language is full of so many new words,
Right.
and we don't come across them in a daily day-to-day life. Like, even in the this qualifier exam also, there were so many words which were new to me, because I was not able to spend that much time on reading the books and everything.
Right.
So I now, to study further deeply this language and take the course, how do I improve my vocabulary? Is it that I have to continuously, like, say, read books and improve myself, or is there any way out for this?
The Yes, the answer is yes. That is what you need to do
Okay.
eventually. But
Okay.
the bad news is there is no shortcut to this, Namita. There is no shortcut to learning vocabulary faster. If,
Okay.
if anybody tells you like that, and if any book or any material claims that, they don't make much sense. You can evaluate that for yourself. See, I'll ask you a question to help you understand this part. Which language do you speak at home other than English?
Sir, I speak Marathi.
Marathi.
Yes.
So, if I speak any word, how long will you take to tell me whether that word belongs to Marathi or not?
Hardly a minute, maybe not more than that.
Hardly a fraction of a moment.
Yeah, yeah.
Right?
I mean, yes, yes.
Now do the maths. Does it mean you know all the words of Marathi?
Um, Certainly not. Not maybe not all the, but
Then how did you make this decision that this word doesn't belong to Marathi?
right, right,
Get it?
sir.
Get
I
my
understand.
point.
Yeah.
So the dormant information in the form of knowledge about Marathi in you is such that it doesn't even take a moment for you to figure out whether a word belongs to Marathi or not,
Yes.
without you being conscious about all the words of Marathi. Now see how complex this process is. Get my point? This is a very complex process. So there is no way. And let me ask you another question, and this is for everybody. Do you know how many words do we use in English every day when we speak English? And imagine we speak, let's say, 6 to 7 hours only English, or maybe 10 hours, or even 12 hours, or for that matter, let's say 24 hours. How many words do we use?
500.
It's much less.
So less, like 200-300 maximum.
Yes, yes, exactly. It's close to 200 or 250. Now, if we only use 250 words, but again, it is not fair to say that if I know 250 words, I can speak English. Speaking ability and our competence in English develops not just with the number of words, but how we use those words in multiple ways. How we develop the generative capacity of a structure. So, answer to your question is it's a cognitive process. The more you read, the better listener and speaker you become, loaded with words. It it uh, it develops your uh, vocabulary flexibility in terms of whether you remember a word or not, you know which one to use in a particular context. So it's about feeling it. When you read more, it gives you the feeling that you know more words and different words that you can use in different contexts. Get it?
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Sure.
Yes, sir, what about the phrases like once in a blue moon? And just like it's some phrases are
Right, right.
using in English language. It means the native speakers of English uses more or less these words in their languages.
Correct.
So some of them are not. If we listen, also we can understand this type of colloquial means.
True,
So,
true, true. You are
so
absolutely right.
yeah. So how we can also implement these in our language? I
The,
mean, in our
the method is the same, that you have to listen to speakers of English. And if there are some phrases, they are called phrases or metaphors, or there are different names depending upon their uses. But once in a blue moon, or somebody says, I it let's call it a day.
yeah,
This comes to me, and I start using this in my language only if I have heard it multiple times.
correct, correct.
And how will I hear it multiple times? There is what I'm trying to tell you to two of you and all of you is there is no list as such that one can memorize. There is no book which helps you learn these 20 phrases. Of course, you can learn those things separately also. But the better way to learn them is to listen to others so that you also learn appropriate contexts of using those phrases. Get it?
Yeah,
Say
true.
if you evaluate yourself, if you speak Marathi or Tamil, there are lots of such phrases in our languages as well.
Yeah,
And how did we learn them? The same way English speakers learn those phrases, and we can learn them only when we listen to it from others in appropriate contexts, and then we develop our own context to use them. So again, I feel like I'm repeating myself, but even at the cost of repetition, I want to underline the point that it's a slow process. It's a cognitive exercise, and it comes to us eventually in a permanent way. But these are the things that we need to commit to ourselves to reach that point.
okay, okay, sir.
Thank you.
And like the TED talks, some this um,
Anything, anything that interests you. There is no restriction on what you should listen to. We are not giving you a prescription on what you should listen. The point there is when you are listening and it requires attention, then you can only pay attention to what interests you. Anything, any topic, anything that interests you, just listen to that. Allow yours. Maybe news, maybe some recorded books, maybe some talks, maybe shorter talks, longer talks. Whatever time you can spend, just allow your ears to take some of these sentences which are context appropriate.
thank you, sir. Thank you very
That
much.
that will do the magic in it.
Thank you, sir.
Sure.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes,
Sir,
ma'am.
I just have a small request from my side. It would be really
Please.
helpful if we get access to more questions to practice, sir, especially in grammar topics like tenses and all.
For that, we will request you if you want to join our sessions. We have a lot of sessions.
Yeah, sir. I've been attending the sessions also, learn the rope, those sessions also.
As far as the questions are concerned, ma'am, I agree with you that there is no limit to that. But the the amount of questions and practices that we give you, we feel it is sufficient for this purpose.
Okay.
Now it comes to new practice. You can catch hold of any grammar exercise, any practice exercise. Pick a topic and take any practice book and solve their exercise. For that, you don't need to wait for our recommendations.
Yeah, okay, sir.
Oh, you get it? Get it?
Yeah, yeah, I got it, sir. Yeah.
And that will be that won't go waste. That will be very helpful.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
Thank you, sir.
sure. Anything else, guys? If not, then we can call it a day. We will we will
Sorry
stop.
for sorry for interruption. I just wanted to ask, in which session you are generally used to be available? Means,
I am available on Wednesday this session almost every week. Not
okay,
almost every week, every week.
okay,
Wednesday 5 to 6, which is a combined session for both English 1 and English 2. And
okay,
uh, please join this thing. The purpose of this session is twofold. One is we want to answer your questions if there is any about any topic, anything in general. Two, if you tell us a topics, then we can go we can also take advantage of this session to go into the details of explaining a particular topic or certain things which are unclear in our explanations. But the only thing is, for that I need to know what you want me to discuss. Otherwise, it we I'll be, if I start discussing that on my own, I'll be discussing things that you may already know.
right. Yeah,
So if you can just tell me, I'll be happy to discuss those things with you. That's the purpose of this session. So we have other people also here who meet with you in other sessions.
right, sir. Yeah,
Those sessions are in those sessions go in details of certain things. So we understand if some of you are attending those sessions and you don't have further questions, that only shows that we are doing other sessions very well. And if for this session also, if you have any questions, we will be happy to explain anything. And unless there is something which is too pressing or totally conflicting with this time, I do come for this time from 5 to 6 Wednesday, all Wednesdays.
sure, sir. I will try to catch you on Wednesday.
Sure, sure, no problem.
And one more thing, if for other courses, it would be better if we will have the faculty name to with the coming session. Means, sometimes there are teaching assistant or somebody else is teaching. So is that possible?
You mean English sessions?
No, for each and every session, who
For
is going?
English? You mean for
Okay,
English?
okay, yeah. For English, it would be better if you will mention who is going to take that particular session. Means
Okay.
that would help us to kind of filter out which we have to must attend and which uh, we may have to attend.
Sure. See, the reason why we don't have attested names to these, we can do it if we have same person doing it regularly. There is no problem. But sometimes other people come, and all I want to add as a footnote is, uh, uh, when they come for the sessions, please be assured that they are as qualified as me or anybody else. They know their subjects very well. Okay.
Right?
So
Yeah.
don't worry about
No,
that.
no, no. I'm not.
No. I understand. I understand. I'm not simply commenting to your
Yes.
point. I totally understand. But uh, I want to assure all of you that they are equally well qualified people to deal with the things that they are doing. We are not sending people just like that. And I will add one more point. If you guys have not noticed, in when you join an English class anywhere in this country or anywhere else, we have hardly 2 to 3 hours of time a week that you get from anybody as total. Apart from 3 hours of recorded videos, we spend 7 to 10 hours live every week online, and anybody who is doing that is well equipped with what they are doing. So please be free to attend anything that you want to attend, and you can always give us a feedback on anything that we are doing.
Sure, sir. I will. Yeah,
All right.
I will take care of this.
Sure.
Thank you.
All right, guys. Then, if there aren't other questions, we will also take your leave and stay in touch. We are always available for any kind of help you need. Take care, guys. Bye bye.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Aishwarya, we can terminate this.